Hi guys, we're here at the Irish Centre, a night of boxing. We've had Steve Collins and a load of people sat on the stage, and we've got an actor with us. Yes. We have an actor in the house, and just for our audience watching, could you tell us a little bit about what movies you've been in and what you've starred in?
Well, my name's Scott Peden, and I'm trying to think now. I've done things such as The Wee Man.
Yep.
And I'm also a musician, so I had my soundtrack in that from my second album. I've done Rise of the Foot Soldier 2,
wow.
The Dead Outside, Outpost, Break, To Be Someone, and I've done a short spell on Emmerdale, as well as being a musician as well, you know, and I do soundtracks for films and stuff.
Wow, you're doing all sorts. My wife's actually a professional singer.
Amazing, man. Yeah, well, I mean, any creative industry isn't easy at all, you know, and I started for the ground up. I left the military. I started off as an extra. I done a bit of military advisory, and then that's how I really got my kind of start about learning how a set worked. And I've had some great experiences. I've had some highs, I've had some lows, but you just keep going, you know. And
journey.
Yeah. Like one of the things was, I think we were talking earlier. 2 months ago, I was out in New Jersey filming with like a load of the Sopranos cast from the Sopranos. I don't know if it'll get made yet. I can't really talk too much about it, but to be out there doing that. So there's highs and there's lows, but I think you've just got to stay grounded, stay real. It doesn't make you any better, it doesn't make you any less, and just, you know, work hard.
You've got to enjoy what you do, don't you? If you enjoy what you're doing, sometimes you arrive at your destination a different way to what you first started out.
Well, I think the thing is, for me as an actor, you know, I'm a musician as well. I had a couple of albums out, independent albums, and then some of the films I've done, quite a few of the films I've done, I've had a publishing sync in it, soundtrack. Then I've done voiceovers, and then I've done a bit of comedy, and so you've got to have lots of strings to your bow, you know. And you know, anyone who gets involved in any creative industry, you know, be under no illusion. There's ups and there's downs, and it's hard. But the moments when you do get that part, or you get that song in that film, or you get that voiceover, it kind of reaffirms your passion for it, and you keep going, you know. But I think when you first start out, you know, pardon my French, you can become the old Billy Big bollocks. You know, you get a couple of articles in the paper and you do something, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I was a bit like that, you know. Whereas now it's just about cutting out the fat for your life, being surrounded by really good people, doing your thing, staying grounded, and if you can help someone at the same time, then you do that.
Right there, because I was on Emmerdale Farm, and
you was on Emmerdale Farm. I was on Emmerdale Farm.
Well, I was
battered Dingles. It's dead funny. Sorry, I must say here tonight when I was on the stage outside, people going, "Oh, you were on Emmerdale, weren't you? You battered Dingles." Dingles.
Well, the Dingles, they had a boxing match in the bar, and I was in one of them. And another time I was in the office, was a gangster. They held thing in the office.
Well, I was telling you, like, you know, like earlier on when we were talking. Sorry, what's your name again?
Donovan.
I was talking to lovely Donovan there, and it's something I can always do. Is like when you go over, I talk to everyone. Anyone that's ever worked with me on a set watching this would call me the excitable puppy, because I love people, and I always make a point of talking to the extras, because I was one when I first started out, before I moved into doing it, and I remember sitting looking and having that feeling where people just walk by you, and I'll always go, "How you doing, mate? What's your name? I'm Scott, I'm playing this character. What do you do? Do you want to get into acting? Do you want to get into directing?" And I think that's applicable in any part of life.
100%.
It doesn't matter what you do, show people respect, kindness, and you know, things will be a lot easier for you.
When I got Emmerdale Farm on Constantly Street, I got talking to the actors, and so when I went on the next time, but you because I know him. So it's easy.
And I think it's indicative of any industry. If you're nice to people, you're remembered. If you're professional, and I always say this to people when they like that, because you do get actors coming to you, young actors starting out, and I say, look, there's no answer for success. I think a lot of it is luck. You know, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, a bit of synchronicity. But I say,
that's the exact same thing in boxing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
The right management, you get the right promotion.
Definitely.
Or maybe if you're a good boxer, you might have a small old show. That's how it is.
I'd say some of it, I don't know if this is applicable to you, but what I've noticed is trying to put yourself in certain positions for that look to come through. So for example, when we started the podcast, we were trying to get people by word of mouth. We got a lot of contacts, and we were getting somewhere, we were going one episode with like a fairly celebrity boxer, and then the next episode no one's heard of the person. And then we came up with the idea of getting press passes, which now we've got to all the big events.
Yeah.
It means we can turn up at every single event, sit next to celebrities, and position ourselves in a position. So how I like to put it is, we've been invited to the party, now we're trying to get to the table.
But that's the thing, I think if you've got a belief in something, right, you need to keep going. But I think the thing is, a lot of people nowadays give up.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, no disrespect like to the X Factor and shows like that, but it's like, for me, I look at my own, and no way am I comparing myself to anyone of any great stature.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it is, everything I've ever got and achieved has been through my own hard work and determination and my own ability. I've either walked in a room and someone's went, you, or somebody's listened to the track and went, I want that in my film, or you work with a director before and they go, phone you, I'm doing this, I think you'd be great for this. But no, it seems as if there's a certain demographic of society that don't want to do that anymore. They say, I want to start there and I want to bypass this piece where I earn my craft, you know, learn from the rejection, you know, and evolve and grow as an artist or a creative. I want to go straight to there. And you can't do that. No. You know, you need the rejection, you need those moments to go, I wish I'd got that part, or I wish I'd got that. You know, and it kind of makes you a more rounded individual. And if you go through that, then you can totally identify when other people come to you starting out and go, look, I know how you feel, there's no great answers, but if you do this, this and this, it might aid you in your quest. Speak to that person, you know, and try and help people. But everybody wants to keep everything for themselves nowadays. No. And I say that to people, there's enough slice of the pie for everyone.
I get you exactly what you mean.
And at the end of the day, if people get that from you, pardon my French, they can sort of just label you as that C word. Self-obsessed, you know, full of themselves. And as I said before at the start of this interview, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I remember when I first started out, and I get maybe, especially the wee man, and then you get another thing, you get a bit of press. I did start to get a bit maybe above my station. Right, but you look back and you go, do you know what? And pardon my French viewers, I was a bit of an asshole. Do you know what I'm talking about? Whereas now you realise that all that stuff that sort of correlates around it is a load of nonsense. You go, you do your job, you do a good part, or you write a good song, stay grounded, be nice to people, be professional, but also don't be a slouch. You say, oh no, that's not really, I'm not really happy with that, you know.
Want more.
Because sometimes that whole thing ties in with people pleasing behaviour. Oh, yes. And by pleasing other people, you've made yourself unhappy.
Right.
You know? Sorry, I just went on a monument.
No. You said a lot there. I was trying to. You made about 10 really good points there. I'm trying to clock in everything you said.
Do that.
Yeah,
100%. A lot of like acting, people go in and they go, and I used to do it before you kind of find out who you really are. Oh yeah, I'll do that. But you don't need to do that. No, you're not putting this out to please anyone, and no one else should affirm you. You do that for yourself.
100%.
And I learned that.
It's all about you against you, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing, like to potential actors and stuff. And you know, and please, I'm not sort of like conveying myself as some major actor. I've done some good things and stuff, but you do get people coming at the formative stage of their career and asking. And the one thing I say to them, which I used to do, is you're in competition with no one else but yourself.
That's right.
See if you get involved in kind of gaggles of people, and they're saying I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you're too busy looking at what they're doing and comparing yourself, when you really should be just find your niche and just keep moving forward.
That's 100%.
You know, it's true though, isn't it? And I can sit here and go, oh yes, everything's lovely, smiley. But I'd be insincere and I'd be a liar. You're better saying it how it is, and people don't do that nowadays.
No. The problem with people nowadays is we've gone from a generation of where we knew what it was to work hard, get up early, put the work in, to a generation of people thinking, think smart, YouTube, social media, and people trying to cut corners. But there's a lot of entitlement in that. A lot of people feel entitled.
I think maybe there'll be certain demographics of that who will fall into that category you mentioned. But there's a lot of people that have maybe, and I really admire that. Maybe they're not a songwriter, maybe they're not an actor, maybe they've not got an inherent creative sort of like vibe in their body, but they've saw an angle and went, I'm going to go for that. But I know what you mean. Maybe you're talking about, and this is just my opinion, the influencers. You see someone getting up going, and these are the socks I am wearing, and this is what I'm eating today, and you're like, you're not living that life. You're not living. And then what it does is all the people that are watching that start comparing themselves, you know, belittling themselves, and then that's where a lot of mental health issues start. People like say, I don't look like that, I don't live that life. See the life that they're perpetuating on there, it's nonsense. lessons.
Yeah.
And we've all done it. You've probably done it, the girl behind the camera. You've done it. I know I've done it, and you've done it. But it's about authenticity in life is important, because if I sit and be authentic with you, it promotes and encourages you to be authentic with me.
Exactly.
And everybody's comfortable.
Exactly. The thing with social media, you can be anything you want.
Aye, but
you can portray what
you can kid everybody else on, but you can't kid yourself.
That's right.
And everybody's going, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But they don't see the days when they wake up racked with anxiety, ruminations, crying, depression. Nobody's wanting to put that on there.
No. Exactly. We've been quite fortunate recently. We've gone to press conferences and being authentic with people and managed to make some really good relationships, like Francis Ngannou's trainer. We've made a relationship with him and we talk to him all the time, and such a humble guy.
Well, do you know that so ties me in with, like, you know, Derek the Rebel Roach? Was a UK champion, and I'd British champion, and I'd known Joe as well. And I'll tell you, talking about authenticity, the first time I met Derek, we were at a do like this, and I was introduced to him by Joe. And the story he told me about his life and his boxing career, I mean, my girlfriend's sitting over there, I was moved to tears that day. And I actually had kind of tears in my eyes talking to him. I went, you know, I've never been so moved by how humble you are, the humility you have and abundance, and your fighting spirit. And he was telling me, you know, Scott, I had the champion, he said, and then in the end I was sitting in a hotel room with like a fractured cheek, couldn't see it at one eye, and I was just left there for 2 or 3 days. And he said to me, I've got a book out, and I said, I'll buy your book. And I think he thought I was kidding, and 2 days later I phoned him and went, I've got your book. And since then, me and Derek have been really close friends. I've been out to his place in Spain. He actually gave me the privilege of I think it was a couple of months ago, I wrote a speech when he was getting inducted into the British Boxing Hall of Fame. And that is a prime example of authenticity. Derek could have said, you know, I was a champion in this and all that, but it's just two guys that met, went, I see something in you and I'm really moved by your plight. And authentic is so powerful.
Me and Donovan go way back. You go back a little bit further than me, but Derek was my coach at the end of my career. So
Derek was? Oh, Derek's a lovely guy, man.
He used to go to war every day.
Tight together, you know what I mean? That's inspiring. But I want to cut off from what we're talking about now. I want to know about you. You want to tell the audience about you. We want to know what you're about. Where you're born and how you grew up, how you get to
I was born in Glasgow. Sorry, my friend. I was born in Glasgow, Scotland. Went through school. Always getting suspended. Always getting thrown out for doing voices, accents, impersonating people.
But that was the beginning of...
because I realised, you know, and I don't mean to sound self-indulgent, but I was intelligent. But I was creative and imaginative, and normal curriculums can't handle that. No. Like nowadays, there's teachers attacking kids, throwing chairs out of windows. You know, it's like my stuff was so tame. Like the teacher would go, "What is wrong with you, Scott Peden?" And I'd say, "Well, why don't we start with you, young lady?" The black. Do you know? And that's the kind of thing. And they're making silly noises and stuff. So when I left school, I'd found the cadets, the military cadets, and I loved that, and I was obsessed with it.
Discipline.
There as well.
Yeah, man. But the thing is, no, it was just like I found a calling, you know,
Discipline.
like uniform and a bit of discipline. But it was a different discipline. It was a discipline that allowed that kind of eccentricity. That wasn't deemed as bad. It was, you know, and then. Try to paraphrase here, and then when I left school, done a bit of engineering, and then I joined the RAF regiment, and I've done 7 years in that. And then halfway through that, I wasn't the person I was when I joined, because I was evolving and growing. And I went, I want to do music and acting. I did not have a clue how to get into it. I play piano, acoustic guitar, mandolin. By the way, this isn't the Scott Peden show. He did ask me. See how you go. It's like I play.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I can play a basic drum beat. Piano, ukulele, mandolin, acoustic guitar, electric guitar. So I was in the military and I'd done Bosnia, Canada, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway, France, and I left because I'd kind of outgrown it. And towards the end, I was in a really kind of bad place, you know, kind of some mental health issues and stuff, depression, and I was with a girl for such a long time, and I just wanted to be home. So that exacerbated it. But then when I came back, I went, right, what do I want to do? And I went, I've always wanted. I'd done acting when I was younger, amateur dramatics. I want to do that, and I had no clue how to get into it, no clue whatsoever. But I kept just, you know, I always say this to people: the cost of an eloquently written email or a 35p stamp in a letter or something like that can change the course of your life. And I just went to this guy that done military advisory for film and TV, and I went, look, I'm ex-military, and he went, right, come with me. There's a guy called Perry Costello, and I'll never forget that. He took a chance on me, and we were going on sets. Like, I remember we'd done a Taggart showing actors how to use a weapon, safely unload it. And then I just kept doing that, and then doing a bit of extra work and standing there transfixed, always thinking, right, what do they do? Right, that's a DOP, what does he do? That's a first AD, what does he do? Right, that's a focus puller, right, that's a grip. And it was really a kind of grounding. And then I got a big Tennent's Lager commercial, and the more kind of stuff was going up, I was getting so much more of a hunger for it. And then I think my break really was, I'd done a few short films, and my break was The Wee Man, directed by Ray Burdiss, starring Martin Compston, Stephen McCall, Laura McMonagle, Michael Elkin, John Hannah. Sorry, if I forgot anyone, I apologise. And that's when I was recording my second album. And I play a chap called Joe Hanlon in the film. And Joe was a real guy who was sadly murdered in real life, and he was really close friends with Paul Ferris, who the film was about. So it was a big responsibility on my shoulders because I was playing a real guy. And then I ended up writing a song called Dead Man's Shoes about how it would feel to be that guy and living in that life. And Ray Burdiss went, I love that, I want it in the film, and that was my first publishing single.
Was that in the Dead Man's Shoes movie?
No. This was called Dead Man's Shoes.
Okay.
You know, but incidentally, that's a great film, man.
Yeah, it's a good film. I've seen it. Yeah, it's a good film.
Inspiration from what you've been through.
Oh yeah, I think as a writer, and everybody made it, but I think you've got to be really honest. You've got to be really sincere. You've got to basically don't be afraid to kind of bare your soul. Because I think that's the songs that everybody gets. You know, I can be moved by the plight of others, or something will happen to me, whether I'm happy, sad. And people can relate.
Vulnerability, innit?
Yeah, vulnerability, man, and that goes back to being authentic. Everybody wants to be walking about with the Range Rover and the best cars and this and that, but nobody wants to talk about the days when they're having an anxiety attack or feeling vulnerable. I think nobody likes them, and everybody's talking about them, and they're crying and upset. But that's real life, because you're a human being. But why is it nobody wants to admit that nowadays?
No. This is why we love what we do with the podcast. So our podcast, we went this way by accident, but we started interviewing fighters, and then we realised everyone's talked about mental health, everyone's talked about specialism in boxing. So we shape our podcast around getting fighters a platform to say, it's alright to put that away, you know?
Give a platform to chat.
More fighters here.
Gives you that freedom to talk about anything. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the thing. Thankfully, I think men, I mean, I've always been really open about feelings, and I think once you address your own vulnerabilities in life, you see them a lot clearer than others. So if you've been through some stuff, right, and you've done a lot of self-work, and you've suffered depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, you can sit with someone and you can actually see it in them. Because I can only reiterate, once you've addressed your own vulnerabilities, you can see it in other people.
100%.
And the power of authenticity. Like many times have you sat with someone, that's happened to me, in a coffee shop, like whether it's London or Glasgow or whatever, and you'll meet someone and you just have a chat, and you just get a real energy, off that person, and it's really real, and you walk away really moved because it's real. And that's powerful. You can't put a price in that, you know. And I'm not being melodramatic, man. I used to feel stuff like that and think, why there's my girlfriend giving the eagle eye. I used to used to think, what is that? And it's because people are being authentic and it's powerful.
Yeah. It's weird. It's interesting you say that, because when we interview some people, sometimes we like, there's no chemistry after the interview, it's just the interview. And then there's some people we really click with.
Three of them we've done so far. You can feel it. You can feel it. The same about your wife.
Yeah, man.
They build themselves back up. So it's like a testimony. And
I think everybody, I mean, I met a friend I'd not seen for years, and it's quite, ironic that we're talking about this, and it was like, sometimes when someone's going through something, they just need someone to tell them, I've been through what you've been through. And see, as soon as someone else hears that, it gets them to open up. And it happened not long ago, and this guy's a lovely guy, and I just said, look, I've been through what you've been through. But I'm not sitting here saying poor me, because everybody goes through stuff, right? But sometimes you need someone to be authentic and go, see that feeling you're feeling? I've been through that. And you will get through it. Things do change. The situation you're in at the moment, the feelings you're in at the moment, it changes. It has to. It's like the weather. It's like night coming to day. Nothing stays the same in life. So your feelings are the same. And sometimes when you have that courage and that authenticity to say to someone, that's all it needs, just to open that door.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't mean to sound really contrived, but kindness isn't so important. We live in such a fast-paced society. It's like kindness, just that wee bit of kindness can change somebody's day.
100%. There's not. I always say, believe it or not, I used to be a pastor of a church. A lot of people don't know that about me. So I went from a boxing ring to being a pastor by accident. I ended up having the ability to talk to the pastor. My wife took me to church. And
see, when you said that, I've got this weird creative brain. When you said that, I just get the Little Britain thing. Remember the Little Britain when they done the pastor? Harry, Harry, ha! Holy, holy, ho! Let me talk in tongues, brother.
I did do the tongue.
Has anybody got an ailment that they don't know about here? Well, I've actually got a bit of a cold. Come up here, brother, and let the Lord preach you. I will save you.
I have done a little bit of that as well. But it's weird.
I remember when we were filming The Wee Man, I was out with the casting director, and I don't drink. Everybody that knows me knows I don't drink. But I had like 3 pints, and I just went on this like hour monologue, and I'd done that on a train. I think it was leaving Charing Cross Station at about 1 a.m, and they were all howling. Everybody strike me down, honey. The Lord is going to come down and get you. But I know in those hard times when you're going through the darkness, you got to look for the light.
He sounds like TD Jakes, darling.
But no, I think that's really important. As I say, I feel really privileged for everything that's happened, and I've had some great experiences, and it's not over yet. And I think anyone who's thinking about getting into anything, go and do it, man.
It's a rewarding feeling. What I was trying to say is when you help people, the feeling of helping someone turn a corner is, for me personally, is better than money sometimes. It's a rewarding feeling.
But it works both ways, It works both ways. Like when you help someone, there's no such thing as altruism, because you do get something in return. You get a really nice feeling, and that feeling, you can't buy that feeling.
That's what I mean.
It kind of restores your faith in humanity, doesn't it? Somewhat. But now, I'm very much like, if you're out and you see someone falling or doing something, you go, "Are you okay?" And they look at you as if, "Why are you doing that?" And you're like, and I used to become so incensed and go, "No, I don't want anything. It's just that's what you do,
Because that's the world we're coming into now. I find that the society is becoming very hostile.
Yeah, but I think that I've had that thought many a time. I think what you've got to remember is there's more good in the world than bad. And I think now with the kind of advancement of social media and technology, you think 25 years ago we didn't have the access to that news. You saw the news at night when you were a kid or a teenager, 9 o'clock news, but now you're constantly getting swamped with everything from all around the world. So surely that's going to take on a negative slant, and when people get that, they become fearful, and when they become fearful, they're not as open. So it's like,
people are like more closed off because the one bad experience makes them think, I don't want to try again.
I think that's human nature, man. We've all been there, whether it's relationships, business deals, situations, whatever. We're all like that, but it's always good to be the person that restores a person's faith in humanity.
100%.
Because many times have you done something out and somebody turns and looks at you in the eyes and says, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And they actually mean it with the utmost sincerity.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really powerful feeling, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. I live for it. I do it.
And it's like Derek, like Derek, like we went out, me and my girlfriend, we went out to his place in Spain and we stayed and we would just sit and talk, and I'd be so moved to tears because like a man like Derek, who was a champion, and the things he's done and what he's endured in his boxing career is so powerful. But he would just say to me, I'm just an average man. Yeah. And I'm like, how powerful, especially we talk about like this day and age when everybody wanting fame and notoriety, but you've got a guy that's done that, we can just go, you know, I'm just an average man. And you know something so moving, he told me, he said, Scott, he said, my belt sits in my house. It's worth loads of money. He said, see if my family or my daughter, they needed it, it'd be gone in a heartbeat. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he said that to us as well.
It doesn't mean anything because my name's in that book. You know?
Yeah. At the end of the day, he's in the history books. The belt's just a belt, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mine wound up being in the case as well.
You're a liar. You've got a little shit.
He's a liar. He's got it up every night. He's in it. He puts the Rocky music on, down at the shorts. Come on, I've still got it like. Come on, ding ding.
It's my case.
He's got a little shrine.
You can picture him, can't you? I've still got it in there. Come on, get them gloves on, love. Come on.
Tell the truth.
Come on, flick that jab out now. Flick that jab out. Come on.
Tell the truth. You walk around naked with just a belt on, don't you?
Come on, stick that Rocky tune on. Get silky shorts on. Come on, you know you like it.
He's got a good Leeds accent.
I did actually from when I was 9 till I was about 11, and it was Alex Morrison, Mahargay BC, and I was a wee boy, and I mean, thankfully I've got a big massive napper head, as they say in Glasgow, but then I hadn't grown into it, so it was this wee skinny body with this big head. I used to do that, and all the older lads would hold me with the forehead, and I met lots of good people through that. It was great, you know. But I think what I learned is, for me, I don't think I would have. I went in the ring, but I don't think you've got to have a different type of mentality to be a boxer. Whereas for me, it was always creative and stuff, you know. So, but I mean, I think anyone that gets in a ring, regardless of what, whether it's professional, amateur, that takes guts, man. Because there's nobody else there. It's just you and another guy. You know.
You know what I mean?
It's the loneliest place on earth. Loneliest place.
Basically, train to prepare for a fight, you're lonely. You can't show everything out.
Yeah.
I love the Leeds accent. It's great. You can just picture it now, like out your corner, like, come on, lad, stop messing about. Hit round. Come on, start jabbing him. Come on,
Leeds accent.
come on.
Good, you know.
Can you tell him an accent, like? Yeah. Come on, you're messing about now. Come on, flick the jab.
You do a Manchester accent.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Right, it's 8th round. You got to keep.
All right, kid. You know, I'm from Moston, you know what I mean?
That's a problem, innit, mate? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
All these people talking about boxing and all that.
Are you City or United?
I'm not into football, mate. You know what I mean?
He does it well.
Is this going to be the accent competition?
You do a Jamaican one.
He's on it, man.
Jamaican? No, easy now, you know, you're bumba clock, you know.
Oh, my.
Easy now. But I'm looking for that pum pum, you know.
I is Rasta 4, right?
I Rasta 4, man.
Well, you see
we're
that
going to do
Bob Marley movie, man.
Marley in the cinema.
Do you know what was strange? That's weird to talk about that. My friend has got a magazine, Prohibition magazine, Glasgow, and I was actually talking to Michael Francis about 5 nights ago. You know, the ex-mafia guy that's turned his life around, became a Christian. What a lovely guy. And friends of ours are bringing him to Glasgow.
I've been watching it,
I've done an interview for him. And did you know that Michael Francesi's dad, Sonny Francesi, was involved in the record label which gave Bob Marley and Sam Cooke their fledgling career? Wow. That's mental, that, isn't it?
Wow. Them guys was earning $8 million a day from the.
It was like $9 million a week on that fuel scam. But talking to him, man, we were on the phone for about half an hour, 38 minutes. I'd done a little thing for my friend, and what a lovely guy, man. And again, you can talk about that, you know, the redemption and the atonement for his former life. I think that's amazing.
He don't really go into detail, does he? He can't, can he really?
How can I go into detail, buddy? What are you talking about here?
He does it well, man. I can't do that one.
I can't do that one. We'll just leave that. We'll edit that out later.
I can do Tony Soprano a little bit.
Tony Soprano. Well, I'll tell you what, that talking about that, like when I was over there, and that talking about experiences when you do stuff, that was amazing. Because I was sitting in this gym in New Jersey, right, and it was pure surreal. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA was on. Born in the USA, right? And I'm sitting at lunchtime eating Italian meatballs, Italian pizza. Vincent Pastore, who plays Big Pussy, sitting right there, we're talking. The guy, oh my God, that played Eugene in Sopranos, sees it. And then little Chi-Chi for Scarface. And all these characters, and I'm like, this is mental. No, but in a good way. And you just think back to all the years ago when you were standing as that little extra going, I want to do that, but I've got no idea how. So I'd say again to any creatives out there, keep going, anything's possible, and hold your dream.
Do what you want, right? Do what you wanting to achieve, and just stay in your lane and run your race. Don't worry about anything else, right?
Different times in life you're up and other people are down, and sometimes other people are up and you're down, and you roll with the punches. And I think, and I don't mean to sound really melodramatic here, but as a songwriter, I can take a negative or a positive and use it. You know, I can use it as a catharsis for what I'm going through, you know. So I think it's great to do creative stuff, but you know, just remember, if you're going to embark on that, there's no quick fix, there's no answers. Some of the times you won't make some, you might be a bit skint at times and stuff, and you might need to do other things, but just keep believing and hold your dream, man, you know.
The things people don't see, right? Things you don't see. Sometimes people only see the victory, they don't see the struggle.
Aye, man. I've been to places and get rejected for things, and you go, and when you start, you go to like do's and events, and you try and fit in and be all nice and nice. See now, man, you don't need to fit in with them. They just be yourself, man. And the right people will come with you, and you'll get it, you know. And just focus on what you're doing. If you get a chance to help someone or give them a leg up, do it. But everybody's like, oh no, I can't do that.
No, it's funny to say that, because I've got 2 friends now earning millions in certain places, and I helped them so much for no reason at all when they win their 20s. And then they know what I do now, which what they do could actually help what I do, and they're not interested to help me. But I don't worry about that, because I just run my race. And it's funny, because I'm opening now doors, and one of these friends just this week came to me and were like, oh, how did he get connected to them? I'm like, I moved ahead of him in a certain area. No, could you connect me? I'm like, oh, I don't really think I can do that. It doesn't work like that. It does, but
I think the thing is, like we talk, if you're nice to people and you're respectful and you've got boundaries, gets you a lot further in life. I always say, and I know I've been in the receiving end of this, is people might forget what you say, but they'll never ever forget how you made them feel. And I've been like that many times. Somebody said something that's really went to the core and really nasty and it really hurts you. You never forget that shit, man. You know, so just people will never forget how you made them feel. So it's about making an effort, but in the same token, not being a pushover or being easy manipulated or a slouch and stuff. Having your boundaries there to go, well, no.
Boundaries are very important. If you really want, I've learned to really help, as when I was doing the pastoring, to really help people, you can't say yes all the time.
Your life will change if you instill your boundaries. A great man, and we'll call him Stephen for this, who taught me lots of stuff. Unbelievable. He said that you as a human being are like a house. Sometimes the 2 little lawns in the front and the little gate is okay. But for some people you need the little gate and the 6-foot fence. For some people you need the gate, the 6-foot fence, the barbed wire. For some people you need the 6-foot fence with the barbed wire, with the spotlights and the Doberman pincer with the elastic band around the base of the old penis. Ooh, to keep it up, you know. Do you know what I'm talking about? And see, when you put it in that analogy, sorry for saying the penis word there, my darling, I must apologise profusely.
She'll get over it.
I hope that wasn't a euphemism. But anyway, that's another story. So basically, no, and it's true. When you start doing that in your life and the power to say no. And I looked at it and I thought, how many times, like, I don't drink, I've never drank, I don't like it. Many times, like, simple things that you hear someone on the phone, I'm not drinking tonight, and you hear someone on the phone going, oh, just do it, come on. No. And they'll push them, and then that person will say, okay. So that person is doing something that makes them unhappy in order to make someone else happy. It's madness, and see when you put it like that.
Because I wouldn't be on the same level.
Just have boundaries, man.
Yeah, just to relate, right? Just to fit in. It's that saying, isn't it? I feel like what I do sometimes, I'm not here to fit in, I'm here to stand out. And to be able to stand out, I have to be able to make them sacrifices.
Well, I think everybody, it might be the same in Leeds and different towns and all that. If anyone does everything different, they kind of say, what are you doing that for? I'm trying to. And you know, I remember I was in Ireland once and I was sitting out and I was sitting in an acoustic guitar and I wrote a song. It was it was my second album. The Complete and Utter Competence of Ignorance, and I've got them tattooed on their words, and it's relevant to this. One man's horizons are always judged by lesser men's clouds. So when people say them going to get something and do something, like, yeah, great, but people that haven't got the courage to do it or are threatened by that start throwing their clouds into your horizon going, who do you think you are? That's rubbish. So see anybody that's getting that, disregard it, just keep doing what you're doing.
If people are not talking about you, you're doing something right? If people are not talking about you, you're probably not doing something right.
Man, you're right, that's a good way to do it. But I think again, it goes back to there's enough bite of the pie. It's like people being threatened by another actor getting a part or another band getting a thing or getting a pub. You can do that. It's about going, well done, mate. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite. There was times in my life when you're younger you go,
do you think it's I was listening to this, I can't remember the name of the podcast, I was listening to this podcast this week and he was getting interviewed by Piers Morgan and he's moved to America. You might know who he is. He was on Love Island apparently, and he was
I'll tell you right now, if he was on Love Island I won't know who he is, because I don't, no disrespect, I don't watch any of that.
I've never watched Love Island.
I think they should have a Love Island where it's just like, I don't know, people at 60 for working class towns in the UK, like Leeds. Hey, what's happening here? We're going to the beach today. I'm sweating here. So this week, Karen's got a shaving rash.
I've never watched
and she's met Roger, who's a coal miner from Leeds. Alright, darling, what's going on for you? Do you want to go to the beach?
He watches it. I've never watched it.
And again, that ties in it. Look at the amount of people that come on shows like that and killed themselves.
Because I want to be like them.
Because it's like, I want to be this. And imagine taking somebody who's just a normal person, 95, right? And it goes back to what I said about learning your craft. Taking them out of working in Zara, for instance. Before you know it, they're in front of 3-4 million people a night. Every part of their life is getting dissected.
They're not ready for it.
Not ready for it, man.
No. There's no process, they're just in it.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's wrong, but people want that. And I'll tell you what, I used to think fame is not an answer to all your problems.
No.
It's fickle. People confuse adulation, right, for admiration. Have I got that round the right way? I have, because I'm going to.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Sorry.
People mistake adulation for affirmation. So you get 6 million people out here going, Scott, you're great. But see me again behind that door, see all the problems in there and there. They're still there. And that doesn't make it go away. And like fame won't solve your problems.
That's what I like about him. When we go to the press conference, if Anthony Joshua's there or Tyson Fury's there, just not here. I'm gonna lie to you. I don't step back because I'm nervous. It's just a respect. And I'm just gonna do that. He don't care. He just.
I love it. I could just put that here. Never mind all that. What are you doing here? What's going on? Are you going to fight him or what?
He don't care. He just goes straight up to talk to him.
See, if you treat people with respect and decency, it gets you a lot further in life. And
box me up and said to me, he does like you. He might have done more than you, but like you. So I treat everybody like that. Just go and walk up to him, talk to him.
Look at Tyson Fury. Look at Tyson Fury, man. Look what he went through. And the authenticity sit and go, by the way, this happened. I mean, me and Joe, we were at the Glasgow show, and it was great. We were sitting backstage. I was playing the piano and all that, and then I went out and ended the show with Tyson Fury. Now, to people and sang American Pie with him, no, that was great for me. I mean, I thought, who can say they went on and sang with the world champion? But to see that guy who's world champion, you know, had a really, you know, no worries and complete success, but can sit and go, I was driving in a Ferrari or whatever it was, and I was going to drive into a long car myself.
You know, coming to my fights, Ernie Shavers, box Muhammad Ali. He used to come to all my fights, that's respect. So I train as a normal person.
They like it though.
To Bradford, he's
they like it.
And
I think it doesn't matter where you go, people are people, man.
Yeah.
People are people.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter what you do or your stature. People are people. We laugh, we cry, we get upset, we get hurt, we've got scars, etc.
Yeah.
People are just people, man.
I'm slightly standoffish just because, not because of nerves, it's because of a respect thing. Like, because I'm aware of everyone's over there like a fanboy, and I don't want to go over like a fanboy.
Yeah, I get that.
He does it a different way though. He'll go over and like talk to him like he's none of our life. Like, oh, how you doing, mate? And he'll just talk natural, but they like it.
Yeah,
they like it.
Well, I think if someone's got such like people all the time going, you're great, oh I want to know about you, I want to be with you, and then you get some normal guy that says, hey man, I just go to my work 9 to 5, how are you, nice to meet you. That's so refreshing at them, isn't it?
And that's what most stars like.
Yeah.
Come from stay on the same level.
But listen guys, I don't mean to be incredibly rude, but I've just realised I should be up on that top table and I'm sitting there and everybody, do you know what I'm talking about? But you did, you know. But, no. It's really cool, man. And I must say, you know, it's an absolute pleasure meeting. Thank you for asking me a few questions and stuff, and you know, all the best with it, man. You're really cool people, man.
Stay in contact.
Oh, but mate, I'll give you the contact details.
Definitely.
I'll give you contact details. Maybe go for an out in Leeds. Maybe go to church. I can take over as pastor for a day. I'd love to do that. Just kid on him for Leeds.
Let's try to do your accent.
We'll try it now.
See how we meet. I'm from Scotland, you know.
Nah, this
was good.
It was at that moment he realised he was no good at the Scottish accent.
I need to find.
Sorry, we're suffering from some technical difficulties. Are you still rolling, darling? Are you still rolling?
You sound like James Bond.
Are you still rolling, darling? Keep rolling, darling. She's making a sort of tent shape over the camera lens at the moment. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's had an involuntary spasm of some sort. But listen, guys, thank you so much, man.
No problem, man.
A pleasure, man. Thank you so much, man. No, a pleasure, man. And thank you to you.
Peace out, people.
Yeah.